Hi, welcome to Jimmy's Neighborhood Bees. I'm Jimmy, and I do bees in our regular neighborhood, just a plain, regular Central Virginia neighborhood. And we have two backyard hives. I'm working on a resource nuke as we speak, as well as a long hive that I will be putting at my daughter's house in West Virginia. But for right now, all we're going to try to concentrate on is the two hives we have and the resource nuke that we're going to establish this coming season. Today is February 16th, 2023, and what I'm working on right now is getting my swarm trap prepared and ready for operation, or as ready as it can be. My goal is to put the swarm trap out by the 1st of March. We just had a meeting, a bee club meeting this past Monday, and everyone was talking about their swarm traps and getting them prepared to get out to be posted. I made my own because I work with my XL frames. I call them XL, and what they are is a deep and a medium combined to one frame. And if I catch a swarm, um, I want them to be on that frame to make it easier for me to transfer into the boxes that I use. It's windy out here, so I hope you can hear me. Um, I hope the wind noise isn't too bad. But anyway, um, I want to be able to transfer the frames if I catch a swarm directly to a hive. I have a 10 frame uh, deep and medium combined that I will use if I catch a swarm. So I'm prepared, but I only, hopefully only one, because if I catch one, then I'll take the swarm trap down and I hopefully won't catch another. Um, and hopefully I can manage the two hives I have and get them productive again. Anyway, this is my swarm box. What you see is actually a deep and a deep. There's some wax inside. When I was re-waxing frames one time, I took a little extra wax, put it in here and waxed the sides. This is the uh, swarm box, and what I'm going to do is, since I had my wax melted because I was doing my strips for the top of the frames, and my wax is melted very nice. I'm going to take a little bit of that wax and just kind of brush it on the inside of this box. Just a little. It doesn't need to be all painted completely, but the wax is going to help it smell because it's going to smell like wax, like beeswax. And this is all part of getting the box ready for bees. And maybe a swarm is going to smell it and say, that's where we want to go. A nice bee home. Of course, I'm going to use, when I bait it, I've got some lemongrass oil. And I'll bait it, and I'll put some old frames, like I said, some old comb in here and some old, I cleaned off some of my wonky frames that kind of got bad, but I've been using these. You can tell the bees had completely drawn it out, but that'll be some of the wax that I melt back down. I had a little bit of waxworm in that one, so I had some waxworm in those frames, so I didn't like them. So I cut them out. I got them in my thing. I'll melt them down later, clean it out, make me a nice brick of wax, and I'll reuse it. But anyway, So getting the swarm box ready. She should be put up by the end of the month, or actually a couple of days. I'll put it up. After it's supposed to rain in a couple of days, but after that I'll put it up, and we'll see. Anyway, that's it. Just a quick one. A quick. Um, I purchased this. It's one of the deep bottoms. I think I got it from Better Bee, or I'm not sure, but as you can see, it has the opening here with a big giant wheel, and the bottom is permanently attached. So it's a solemn bottom board. What I do is I glued and pinned another deep on top. So this is actually one box. Even if my hanger wasn't attached, it's still just one box. I put drawn out comb in here that I've had. I have a couple of all mediums or deeps. So I'll put one deep drawn out comb in here. I have some old wax and stuff that I collect. Let me go get that. Be right back. Okay, this is a medium, but you get the drift. It's old, used comb that smells like bees, you know. And then also in my bucket here, my Lock and Lock, I get this from QVC. I'm not sponsored. You see the Reese's? I'm not sponsored. But this is old comb that I would later eventually melt down. But I'll take some bits and pieces of it, stick it in, just lay it in the bottom of this box. I have lemongrass oil. I was thinking about using up buying some Swarm Rustler, but I haven't yet. And it might be too late, but I'll still just use my lemongrass oil that I have. But I do have some XL frames that'll go in here. I'll probably put 2 XL frames and one deep that's already pre-drawn, smelling like bees, and then maybe 2 blank, no foundation, just comb with just a starter strip at the top. And that's how I'll put the 5. And then the top is like a migratory type lid. I just screw it in place with 3 screws, and I hang it in the tree in the backyard. But I'm going to show you that in a second, where I hang it. Now, I just built this end of last year, or I guess I built it in July or August of last year, and I was just in case I caught a late season swarm. I've been living in this house for 30 years, 30 plus years. I have, until we became beekeepers, I've never seen that many bees around. I've never seen a swarm anywhere around, or I never heard of any of my neighbors having any swarm of bees in their sheds, properties, houses, eaves, whatever. So I'm not hopeful to catching a swarm, which is why I'm purchasing 2 packages again this year. I could possibly split one or both of our hives. I have a backup plan for that just in case I have to split to keep them from swarming. Um, but yeah, but I do want to put this box out, and it's going to go back in. We have a gas line that runs behind our house, so there's no trees. It's like an alleyway, and then there's woods with houses all around it. So right at the edge there is where I heard people say, "Oh, at the edge of a opening or clearing or whatever." Well, again, I'm a regular neighborhood guy, so there is no openings. There aren't many clearings except for the street and this gas line. So uh, maybe if you want to comment and say, "Hey, it's better to put it over here than over there," let me know what you think. But I'm going to walk you back there and show you where I'm going to put it. Okay, and just a little side note for those of you who don't know, I rescue first generation Mini Coopers. I have a separate channel. It's called Jimmy's First Gen Mini Rescue. And we have 4 of these cars, 2 convertibles and 2 hardtops. But anyway, if you want to check that out. And I also do maintenance on other vehicles that we own. Um, but I was looking here. Let's just take a peek. There's pollen coming in for both hives. Our news stated that we had high pollen in the tree pollen was high. Anyway, this is the gas line. It's not our property. We can't permanently build on it, but it comes all the way here and it goes all the way that way, all the way through there. Now, some people have fences and sheds, but according to the gas company, if they need to get through, they can move it. And you can see here, there's those 2 pipes right there, but they can move your fence or your building and not and destroy them actually, and you're responsible for it. They won't pay you back. But anyway, this big clump of trees right here is where I had my hive, my resource hive before. It was right here in this opening of this woods. I was considering placing it right where I have my bee sign, which is more open. And I may do that, place it here. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, I know it's windy out here, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. But I think this is where I decided to hang my swarm trap for now. My hives are here. I'm looking at the back of them, and they're actually going to be a little bit further, even with that tree right there, going crossways. So they're going to get moved little by little, 2-3 feet per day, um, until they're in the spot that I want to keep them. So that's going to be here, my swarm trap, and right back here on this shelf, I have a feeding station. And those 2 frames right there, just some old honey frames that I took out of the freezer. Those are my XL frames. Got a little bit of honey on them. They were ours. So I just decided to stick them there and have the bees feed on them. I got a little bit of pollen out and a little bit of sugar water, 1-to-1. I figure if they come and get it, they come and get it. If they don't, they don't. Yeah, I know it's close, but remember, I'm a neighborhood bee guy. You can see my neighbors' houses back here all around. Neighbors, 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 neighbors. So what I'm working with is about 75 feet of the back space here. And then our county, we have a couple of regulations that I need to follow. So I'm limited to the distances to my property line. So I'm trying to stay within the limits. So far, I have no neighbors that have any issues with the bees at all. Like I said, this has been year 3. Oh, I can see my box is moving. I will, it's not hanging up there permanent. I just wanted to see what it would look like there. So I'm just gonna add a strap, a shipping strap, to keep it solidly mounted. But it's on a hook, it's hanging up. The other place I had it was in here in the backwoods, which is technically not our property. So I decided I don't think I'm gonna put it back there again. But it was in this tree right here. And so, and again, this is a gas line that goes along the property and all the way down. And I'm responsible up until this point right in here. but those woods are not technically ours. So I didn't want to push my luck. So I resorted to having it there. And of course, the boat won't be there in the spring. Come springtime, the boat leaves. And spring and summer, that mini leaves because it goes in the driveway where we drive it with the top down, like it's designed for. Anyway, that's it for now. I did get the box close, and I like where it's going to be. And yeah, so that's it for the swarm trap. Those hives will be moved a little bit further towards that tree. These hives, they're going to be not in the middle here, not in this open spot, but even with the trees there. But anyway, I don't know. But I'm getting the hive ready. I'm trying to wait for the wind to stop blowing. Let's see what we're working with here. They're just coming and going. It's about 63 degrees right now. And it's supposed to hit 70 today. But it's going to be windy, so. But anyway. I just wanted to give you guys the heads up on what I do for my for these. But yeah, it smells a little bit still like wood. These were treated with Eco Wood. Not this, but I should have, but I didn't. So no big deal. But that's what I'm going to do right now. Get the frames ready. I have some older comb frame that's in the freezer, in my bee freezer, and I will get that. It was old brood comb, and I just put it in the freezer to preserve it. So I'll get it out, let it thaw out, and check it out, make sure everything is good with it. And I'll use 2 of the old brood comb, 2 of just empty comb or blank frames. Let's see, let me find one of those. Okay, I have these 2 frames that are natural. They're going to go in. They have starter strips. I have cross wiring. What I will do is melt some more wax, and I'll pre-wax the starter strips. And I'll put these 2 in here. I'll definitely have 2 of the drawn brood frame combs that I have on the same size frame. This is a medium. You can see the difference. It's a medium and a deep, the frames that I use. So, yeah. Turn it this way. And so that's how I'll stack my box. And hopefully the bees will like it. They'll get in. There's extra room at the bottom of these frames. In other words, they don't go all the way to the bottom. They sit about a good 2 inches or 1.5 inches from the bottom, which gives them some walking room. Hopefully they'll like it. If a couple of bees find it, maybe I'll get a swarm. And if I do, I'll keep you guys informed on that. But I'm going to go ahead and get this up. I'm still debating on where to put it, but I think I'm going to put it right behind where the boat is now, because the boat's not going to be there much longer. In the spring, it goes back in the water, and we leave it in the water for the season. So, yeah, maybe it'll go right there. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for sticking by. Again, Jimmy's Neighborhood Bees. I want to thank everyone who's given a shout out. Philip, down in Texas, RTX Bees. He's building what he's calling Texas deep frames, the same deepness, and he's building just complete single box, because he builds all of his own boxes, and he's pretty cool. Check out his channel. But yeah, I'll put a a thing up here so you can see it, or wherever it's going to show up, so you can see it. But we've been conversing back and forth, and you know, I just like doing stuff different because I'm a little extra, like I always say. So I do things a little extra. But yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I hope it's not boring for you. I hope if you're new, I've been keeping bees. This is my 3rd year. Um, so far, knock on some wood. This is the 3rd winter they've been through. So, um, yeah, you know, I'm that first string lucky. I don't know what to call it, but yeah. So I haven't, knock on wood, lost any of the hives yet. So it, I did have a friend who lost her hive. She only had 1 hive. This was her 1st year last year, and she lost it right before winter. And she called my wife, and she was like, "Oh, she was devastated, and she couldn't talk, and she was distraught. She's better now." And her husband bought her a nuke for Christmas. That was one of her Christmas gifts. So she's gonna jump back in, and hopefully, um, she'll they'll thrive, and she'll be better for it. She wants to change her location. I think she had them in too much shade. I'm not sure, but hopefully she'll. But she's talking with the state apiarist. How do you say that? Anyway, here in Central Virginia, she's talking to him. I'm sure they'll get everything straightened out. It's really windy. I'm sorry, but hopefully, and she'll get her bees, and become the next neighborhood beekeeper, because she's in the neighborhood as well. So we'll have to keep an eye out, and I'll give you updates on her as well. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm rambling as I do always. Y'all take it easy. Thanks for watching.